Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of our look at album cover art, and specifically some very notable artists who have worked on some really cool albums over the years, I should say. This next artist, kind of like Roger Dean, has been responsible for some of the coolest, like, fantasy and science fiction themed artwork on album covers, as well as books and all sorts of other things over the years. He kind of got his start in the 60s doing some album covers and book covers for some pretty obscure stuff, and then all of a sudden you started to see him pop up a lot in the 70s and into the 80s. Or I'm talking about Rodney Matthews, who I have long been a fan of. And I just find, much like Roger Dean, it's just like you look at some of this guy's works and it's just amazing the kind of different worlds that his illustrations take you on. So he's worked on some artists more than others. I don't have as much album CDs. I'm going to be showing you CDs anyway. I don't have as much of his stuff as I have of Roger Dean, but I do have quite a few, and I'm sure there's some that I have in my collection that I just haven't been able to track down. But I pulled some of the stuff that I like the most, so I'm going to kind of go through some of them here. So one of the bands that he's most known for working with almost exclusively is a band from the UK called Magnum, who have been around since the kind of latter 70s, all right, and have been just kind of chugging along ever since. A very cool band. We're not here about talk about the band, though, but their album covers have been synonymous with Rodney Matthews over the years. And I'm going to show you some of my favorites. Okay, I didn't pull all of them, but I pulled some of the ones that kind of really strike me the most. So again, what we'll do is here, so I'll go one at a time. I'll take them out of the booklet so we can get, or out of the CDs, so we get as little glare as possible. So here is Magnum's The 11th Hour. All right, really, really cool one. And let's open this bad boy up so you can see the full spectrum of this piece. Okay. All right, very, very cool. One of the more bleak ones, all right? And again, you can feel free to go onto Rodney's website where you can see all of these in, pristine images and what have you. I know here you're going to get, my shaky hand and glare and what have you, but there, if you go onto Rodney Matthews' website, he's got everything he's ever done is on there, which is really good. Here we got Escape from the Shadow Garden. This is one of the more recent ones. Look at that. Very cool. What else we got here? Princess Alice and the Broken Arrow. All right. Sacred Blood, Divine Lies. This is another more recent one. Let me take this one out of its shell, so to speak. Let's see here. For those of you joining late here, you're probably thinking, all right, he's talking about album covers. Why is he showing CDs? Well, because I own CDs. I don't own LPs anymore. I know it looks better on an LP, but this is what you got. If you got the LPs, that's great. What else we got here? On a Storyteller's Night. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. And then here we got Chase the Dragon. In a lot of instances in some of these, you open up inside and there's additional stuff in some cases, not all of them. But again, an artist very, very closely tied with a particular band. And in this case, Rodney and Magnum kind of go hand in hand. Who else has he worked with quite a bit? He worked with Praying Mantis a lot. Okay, Praying Mantis, a very excellent melodic metal band that came from the whole new wave of British heavy metal movements. Kind of really didn't fit in with a lot of the other bands of that era, but they came from the same region. They came out at the same time, so they got really lumped in, but always much more melodic. Definitely, a lot of prog rock keyboards in their music. Very, very hook-laden music, not as heavy as some of their other contemporaries. But here we've got the Legacy album. This is more recent times. All right, this is a very cool one. So again, Praying Mantis, they always utilize the namesake of the band. Okay. What else we got here? How about Forever in Time? Okay. Very, very cool. I like this next one a lot. This is Predator in Disguise. Again, this guy takes you to another world, right? All these different cool locations and things. This one's just... okay, this is I believe this was their debut, Time Tells No Lies. I like that one a lot. I love the colors on that. He worked very well with like kind of like purples and yellows. All right, very, very cool stuff there. What else? How about this one? This was another one of my favorites back in the day. I wanted to wear this as a t-shirt today, and I completely forgot. Oh, well, you got Budgie instead. Sorry, it's okay. Got a little ode to Roger Dean here on our Rodney Matthews show, but I actually have this on a t-shirt. All right, this is Nazareth, No Mean City. Look at that, huh? That's definitely one of my favorites by him. And a pretty damn cool album to boot. I think the first album I ever bought with a Rodney Matthews album cover, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the Nazareth one was, but this one right here, Tigers of Pantang, Crazy Nights. Love that. Absolutely love that. He also worked, I believe he did this one as well. Spellbound. I think he did that one. I'm not quite sure, 100% sure, but he definitely did the Crazy Nights one. What else do we have here? Let's see. How about some Eloy? All right. German prog rock, space rock band. He worked on the Metromania album. Let's see if we got, here we go. Always like that album cover. As well as Planets. As cool as that is, I like the... where is it? Check that out. Very neat stuff. What else we got here? All right, more recent years, because the guy is prolific. He's done, he's done so much. I was amazed when I went on his website to just kind of make sure I was getting everything, all these other albums by all these other bands that he's worked with that I don't own. That I'm like, well, I never heard that. I never even heard of that band before. And some amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. This is probably, there's some stuff here that's not even the cream of the crop. And I don't want to forget, I don't know if I have any of them, but he worked on a bunch of the more latter day Asia stuff when Asia was working with John, Asia and John Payne, all right? And he did some fantastic album covers for Asia around that time period. Here we have Jorn Landy and Russell Allen. Jorn Allen, Russell Landy. Alan Landy. Here we get The Battle. All right. Okay, that's pretty damn cool. Like that. In fact, I think he's done all their album covers. And here is, that's The Battle. This is The Revenge. Okay, he's done a couple more. Every album they've done, I think they've got 3 or 4 of them, I think, so I'm missing a couple of them. Very, very cool. What else we got here? And he's also worked with Al Atkins and Paul May. Okay, the Atkins-May project. So Al Atkins, of course, the original lead singer of Judas Priest before Rob Halford, and Paul May, very, very good guitar player. The Atkins-May project. It's pretty cool. His renditions of creatures and monsters and things, very good. Empires of Destruction. And then the Valley of Shadows. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, wait, I got one more. Let's go back to the new wave of British heavy metal. I absolutely love this one. I remember when I first got this, I was like, woo! Diamond Head, Borrowed Time. That is spectacular. And another one I did want to mention, but the CD that I have does not have his artwork on it, but the original LP I did have. He also did the artwork for a pressing of Scorpions' Lonesome Crow, the very, very first Scorpions album. with the giant scorpion, everything like that, out in like the desert type of thing. It's a fantastic cover. My original LP had that artwork on it, which I don't own anymore. And I went to go grab the CD. I'm like, this is the may have been the original artwork for the album, which is not nearly as good because I much prefer Rodney's artwork on that. But there you have some cool stuff from Rodney Matthews, the great Rodney Matthews. Again, another artist who worked on a lot of really cool albums that would just take, the listener not only has the great music on the album to take their minds into worlds unknown, but you've got this great artwork that can just just really draw you in and make you appreciate the music even more based on that just fantastic artwork of all these creatures and beings and worlds and just unbelievable stuff. So, yeah, there you have it. Rodney Matthews. Another look at some great artwork on some classic albums. So we got more of these coming up. I got other, we're going to do a hypnosis show, Mark Wilkinson, all sorts of other stuff. So we'll be doing these, periodically over the next few weeks. And then I'm going to do a show where I'm going to show you my top 25 favorite album covers of all time. And they're going to run the gamut of some of these dudes and some other one-offs and whatever. So because there's a lot of really cool album covers out there that used someone to do the art of the photography that really never did much of anything else before after that. So I might have some of those as well. So we'll see what I come up with. All right. This is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you guys again real soon. We've got worst to best albums coming up. Deep Purple. You don't want to miss it. Bye bye.